Oh. 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 Welcome to Meaningful Mornings. Fear. Face everything and rise. In the language of Gita, this is fight. Alternatively, face everything and run. In the language of Gita, this is flight. Alternatively, face everything and repress. In the language of Gita, that is freeze. Fight, flight, freeze. Or sattva, rajas, and tamas. Meaningful Mornings is a workshop to encourage us to fight our own low tendencies. Only if we fight our own low tendencies can we help our families, communities, society, humanity to do the same. In our last verse, Sanjaya is summarizing what Prince Arjuna is going through. What's special about what Prince Arjuna is going through, he's projecting like he hasn't experienced this before. The whole life of the Pandavas, of Prince Arjuna, has been a problem due to the Kauravas. The harassment, the violence. So what he's going through, he's gone through his whole life. Only in this moment of high tension, he's unable to absorb this. Madhusudana Saraswati has called his pity adventitious. Adventitious means spontaneous. This shows that this is pity and not compassion. Compassion is built slowly, steadily, sincerely. Pity comes fast and goes fast. Almost like when a child sees someone with special needs, then they have this spontaneous feeling that they feel bad for them or good for themselves. But typically, for that child, out of sight, out of mind. They go back to living a privileged life. Prince Arjuna is acting in the same way, thinking in the same way. Sanjaya begins chapter 2 with what Prince Arjuna is feeling. Now Shri Krishna is testing him harder, testing him deeper. Are you ready to come out of your immaturity, your wrong thinking, your sadness? Chapter 2, verse 2. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Kutastva Kashmalamidam Vishame Samupastitam Anarya Jushtamaswargyam Akirti Karamarjuna. Shri Krishna said, and this is the first time that Sri Krishna's voice is more active. Earlier, he spoke through Sanjaya. Now he's speaking directly to Prince Arjuna. Kutaha tva? To you, where has this come? Idam kashmalam, this impurity, this wrong thinking, this dejection. Prince Arjuna and Sri Krishna are cousins. Sri Krishna knows Prince Arjuna's life. This has been a problem, a struggle. Where has this pity come from? Kashmalam is indicative of being dejected. Being dejected doesn't come spontaneously. In our lives, here is the genesis. Being dejected comes from a disengagement, a general disengagement in what we're thinking and saying and doing. At the body level, this is felt as being tired. When you're disengaged from what your body is doing, the body becomes tired. Think of what you love to do. You never get tired of doing what you love. Disengagement at the mental level is boredom. Think of a high school student studying for exams, how bored they are. Disengagement at the intellectual level is dejection. When one doesn't have a purpose to wake up, to live, that intellectual disengagement filters to the mind, filters to the body. This is what Sri Krishna is highlighting in Prince Arjuna. You're disengaged from your dharma. Naturally, that's called adharma. Vishame sam upastitam. And this has come well, where? Vishame. In this challenge. In this moment of high tension. Our challenges are revealing of who we are. This challenge is revealing Prince Arjuna has a inferiority complex. No different than Duryodhana's inferiority complex. Duryodhana feels small, he tries to make everyone else feel small. Drona, Bhishma. Prince Arjuna feels small, he's expressing this different than Duryodhana. He's trying to flight. He's trying to freeze. Inferiority. To be a slave to context. This is emphasized in the third quarter. Shri Krishna describes Prince Arjuna as anarya. This is a stinging word description. I'm just going to focus on this today, the other words more so tomorrow. Many of you have the name Arya, Aryan. And you've heard this a lot in Sanatana Dharma. Here is the expression, the practicality of the word Arya. It is one who is a master of themselves. Anyone who's a master of themselves becomes a master of the situation. Think of this practically. If my mind is quiet, I'm quickly able to process many variables, understand people, and make a decision. Agreed? If I'm distracted and agitated, I don't pay attention, I don't see your body cues, I make mistakes. Arya, one who's a master of themselves, naturally then a master of situations. Shri Krishna is calling him the opposite, anarya. you're being a slave to yourself, the ego and mind. So now you're a slave to this situation. Another way to look at the word Aryan, in English, this is often translated as noble. The noble people, nobility. A beautiful indicator of nobility is inclusiveness. The more noble one is, the more inclusive they are of those they like, they dislike. The completion of inclusivity is oneness. Prince Arjuna, he's practicing the opposite. Jushta means practicing the opposite. Leave alone thinking about the Kauravas. He's not even thinking about the Pandavas anymore. He is exclusively thinking about himself. Furthermore, Shri Krishna calls Prince Arjuna's behavior aswargyam. This is not going to lead you to heaven. Akirtikaram. This is not going to lead to your reverence. And why Shri Krishna is pointing to this, Prince Arjuna, earlier in the Mahabharata, has already been to heaven. One of his fathers is Indra Deva, the demigod Indra. He's been to heaven. In terms of reverence, all 4 million people on this battlefield, who do they want to be like? They don't want to be like Bhima or Yudhishthira or Duryodhana. They want to be like Prince Arjuna. Maybe Acharya Bhishma, but Prince Arjuna is more handsome. So they want to be more like him than Acharya Bhishma. And what you're doing, Prince Arjuna, is not going to facilitate this reverence. In other words, Sri Krishna is telling Prince Arjuna, this is not you. This is unbecoming. And this is the messaging for us. Confusion and fear and sadness. This is not you. Your nature is divine. From inspiration to application. Your application yesterday was to go to the Chinmaya Nagra web, SIGHT, to learn what you don't know. Another word for learning is punya. Punya. Punya is that which purifies ignorance, ignorance of our divine nature. Those who are able to engage in this application, punya is the key to purging separation. The more you learn about yourself, the more you feel a oneness with yourself and others. So punya is the key to purging separation, is the key to feeling oneness. Keep learning. Your application for today. Every time you feel that you're better than anyone, starting with your spouse, every time you feel you're better than someone, I want you to stand straighter or sit straighter. Straighten your posture every time you feel you're better than someone. You reflect on this. We'll debrief on this tomorrow. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Be safe, be sound, be serene, be happiness.